Welcome back to A Minute with Alan. This episode is The Cobbler and the Tailor. When I was young, mid-50s, that is, mid-1950s, an old man, probably about mid to late 70s, maybe early 80s. Of course, when you're very young, anybody over 20 looks old. This man would come to the neighborhood, ring a bell, and he'd have a huge grinding stone strapped to his back. He would put it down on the corner, on the pavement. It was on legs. And he would yell, "Knives and scissors." And the women who were home, and most of the women were home, would come down or send one of their kids down with knives and scissors to be sharpened. He was the sharpener, and he would grind the wheel and sharpen the blades. It was 5 cents for a knife and 10 cents for scissors. And when he was done with the people who would send things down, he would put the wheel laboriously on his back, walk 2 or 3 or 4 blocks down, and ring the bell again. Came through the neighborhoods. He would come about once a month, join spring and summer and fall, not in the winter. And I noticed this for about 2 or 3 years, and then he never came again. Never came again. I've just come back from New York, and I noticed when I was down there that the clasp on my briefcase had come loose. And this is a very expensive briefcase. I got it during COVID. There were few stores open in Manhattan, but I found one who had exactly what I wanted. 4 compartments inside, could hold my laptop and my iPad and everything. It was perfect. And now I was worried. This clasp was broken. What do I do with this? Do I take it to a hardware store? But I took it to the Cobbler here in East Greenwich, who's been here as long as I've lived here, 40 years. And he has a small store. Next to it, in the same entrance, is his wife's store, which is a beauty parlor. And in the Cobbler store, it's long and narrow. It's like railroad apartments built after World War II, I guess. Long and narrow, and it's filled with stuff. Filled with stuff. Shoes to be picked up, and suede polish, and you name it, all kinds of tools and grinders that spin. You don't see these anymore. And I showed him what the situation was. He looked at this, and he looked at this, and he said, wait a minute, he says. And he was all the way to the back of the store, and I hear him rooting around back there. And he comes back with a tiny screwdriver set. Now, I might have one here. Yeah, I do. I didn't realize. I have this. But he had one even smaller. He put on his glasses, and he tightened one of these screws in there in the clasp that I didn't even think was a screw. It was so small. And he made it perfect. And he said, "Yeah, it's on me." I said, "No, I'm buying you coffee." And I gave him $5. Then I went to the tailor. I bought some jeans when I was in New York, and great, very expensive jeans in Saks. Doesn't do the tailoring on jeans. But the tailor here, who's been here probably much longer than 40 years, he has his own place filled with stuff. There's thread, there's needles, there's appointments, he's got a little changing room, and I don't know how he finds anything, but he does. And he had the waist on these things are fine when I buy them, but they're too long for me. I'm 5'10", they're too long. He has to shorten them by 2 inches or so. And he does that, and it's $6. Now, he's the only tailor I know of around here, unless you're going to a men's store in Boston or something where they'll do the tailoring. And this is the only cobbler I know anywhere, but I'm sure we could find one if we Googled it. But just like the grinder, just like the guy who sharpened the blades, when this cobbler closes and this tailor closes, there's nobody coming back. This is the way the world is going. I have to tell you, I think we're all the poorer for it. I'm all for AI. I'm all for progress. But sometimes it's not progress. Sometimes it's a loss. Because the people who you need to interact with, who have skills, and who can tailor, no pun intended, what they do to their individual customers, I think they're invaluable. And no less than clean water and clean air is the loss we suffer when we lose these people.